Hey guys, we've got a little bit of natural light going on. I am trying out my new gimbal, which hopefully is a little fun and keeps me in frame. But we are doing another episode of the vlog for my year and a day project that I'm working on. I'm so excited to be doing this project, and I wanted to have a bit more of an honest moment with you guys, as I know my first vlog it felt really rushed, and I was trying to give you the Cliff's Notes version because I felt like behind by a couple of days and I just kind of glossed over a couple of things that I have been struggling with. So I wanted to kind of take a moment, take a deep breath, and just kind of catch you guys up on everything that has been happening. My hair is still crazy colors. I am still super excited about that. There are so many projects that I am working on getting off the ground as part of a year and a day. And for those of you who are just joining me on the project and are not sure what a year and a day project is, just say yes. So for those of you who don't know, I just turned 29 not that long ago. And so I'm giving myself permission to say yes to all of my little and sometimes ridiculous and small dreams for the next 366 days. I chose a year and a day for cultural reasons, and also I'm a huge nerd when it comes to things witchcraft, Wiccan, folklore, and mythology based, and there are a lot of protagonists, heroes, and trials that last a year and a day, and it just seemed like a really fitting number for me. Which brings me to our second vlog. Can you believe it? I have been 29 since March 5th, almost 3 weeks now. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to backtrack just a little bit and let everyone know that these will be coming out on Friday. I know my first newsletter came out on a Tuesday, and I have been trying very desperately to keep that schedule. However, it occurred to me that that schedule was technically late since I started on a Friday. A weekly update would take place on a Friday. So I am doing this a little early, but I want to have it prepared for this Friday so you guys can have it. I will be posting this a little sooner, and then I'll be posting a follow-up as well. So you'll get to see this twice, and hopefully something fun as well for this Friday that's just a little extra. So that's that. In terms of things that I have been working on as part of my year and a day, today I am playing with this gimbal, which is super fun. And for those of you who don't know why a gimbal, you're like, oh, it's probably just because she does vlogs now and she's been doing little video series. Well, yes, but it's also, I have always wanted to be a cinematographer. I have been writing stories since I was, I think forever. I've been writing poems and stories since I was a little girl. In fact, I used to play this make-believe game called Magic Land with my 3 best friends in 3rd grade, where basically I was a angel / demon character who was slightly bipolar, who basically, bipolar is not the right word. I had split personality disorder as part of this game, and you either got the nice Nina, which was, I named her Angel. I know, such total depths of character move right there. And she was an angel. She had magical healing powers. She was an archer, and her 2 best friends would go on these magical adventures together, and inevitably they would fight the big bad guy, which was Akara, my alter ego, who was not nice and not sweet. And then eventually my 2 best friends would realize we were one and the same, and there was actually a bigger evil out there, and we would have to face her, which was my other best friend Julie. And we must have played this game in so many different variations over the course of the years. The staples were I always was bow and arrows, and Jesse and my friend Travis would have sticks and swords, and Travis was always a hothead who would go off on the top of anything really, and they never got along. And he was always fire elements and destructive and chaos. And then Jesse was our wild card, which was super fun because I think one time we let him be in charge of the story, and we ended up in Ice Cream Land fighting chocolate chip monsters. Yeah, chocolate chip monsters. It was great, but I mean, come on, we were like, I don't know how old we were. We were in second grade, but we were in second grade, okay? You know, we were high class story writers at this point in our lives. And then I discovered I was really good at it when I was in junior high. I had a lot of English teachers really pull me aside and say it was something I was good at. They just were really disappointed in my writing because I had such a creative imagination, but no one could figure out why I was not very good at the actual writing part of the writing. In fact, it would not be until a very embarrassing moment in my early 20s when I would take probably the toughest English class I've ever taken at Brooks with a teacher by the name of Lynn Rowlands. Amazing teacher, loved her to death, but she couldn't figure it out either. She's like, you are like going to fail my class if I don't start tutoring you and start making you come in and write your essays with me, because we need to figure this out because this is not going well for you. And I remember I was super nervous. I had stayed up all night writing this paper, trying to like at least make it not suck. And one of the ways that she would have us edit our papers is we would read them aloud. Well, she had a copy and I had a copy that I was reading aloud. And about a paragraph, maybe two, she stops me and I'm like, oh God, this is the worst paper ever. I did not do a good job. And she's like, I figured it out. I was like, what did you figure out? She's like, are you dyslexic? And I was like, no, I don't think so. She's like, no, you're dyslexic. And if you've never met Miss Lynn Rowland, you should, because she has this, I don't want to call her Southern charm because it's not Southern, but it's just this very quirky, very no-nonsense, very, this is how it is, I've figured it out, this is the way things are now, type of no-nonsense, no bullshit lady who is amazingly brilliant and smart. And apparently what I was reading and what I had written were not at all the same thing. So I found out in my 20s that I was dyslexic, which is why in a twist of fate, when I was in high school and I was trying to decide what I wanted to do with my life, I discovered photography. And since I had always loved writing and loved making storytelling, I fell in love with the camera because for the first time in most of my life, I had a really easy way that just made sense to me. It made sense for me to tell stories in this way because they were purely visual things that I had been trying to translate into grammar and words and descriptions, and now I could skip all that. I could just go straight to the point, straight to the colors, straight to the shadows, straight to what I was seeing in my head without having to deal with a pen and a paper. But I then had the misfortune of going to a very, very prestigious school, and I went in there for photography. I got thrown in the visual journalism department, and I tried several times to make so many documentaries, and I just sucked at it. Like this was so bad that, okay, I apologize to my classmates because I didn't tell them and I should have. I'm also half deaf. So I was late to one of our documentary shoots and I got put in charge of sound. And I thought I did it right. I was checking the levels. I was checking to make sure everything was on because I'm like, I legit can't hear. I cannot tell if this is recording or if this is not recording. I legit cannot hear. And I wasted a day and a half of everyone's time thinking I was doing it correctly because I couldn't hear. And I should have asked for help. I really should have. And I feel so bad, but I just had the worst experience in that class when it came to the actual learning how to do audio, learning how to do pans and sweeps, and that class scarred me in a way that made it to where I never wanted to pick up a video camera again, which is tragic because I recently discovered I lost all of my high school videos that I used to do. I used to drag my best friends and we would make these little films that I now have no proof ever existed, and they made no sense, but I did. And so that's kind of why the gimbal. That was very long and winded, and I think we discovered a lot more about me than I intended to share, but I guess I'm really good at chasing rabbits. Sorry. Sorry. Anyone who knows me knows I am not very good at staying on task or on topic. But long story short, today we are practicing with the gimbal in the hope that I can start my first cinematic project this week. Super excited. I'm a little nervous because, as I kind of hinted at last week, I've been hitting some roadblocks when it comes to not necessarily the personal things. I think I've done really well on some of my personal dreams. Like, I've dyed my hair, I started martial arts, I actually learned how to get out of a grapple, and I've taken some big steps on some personal goals that are really important to me, but I haven't really made a lot of progress, or as much progress as I would have liked to have made, on my artistic endeavors and really pushing myself forward to say yes to some of the projects that I have been sitting on for the past who knows how many years. But I'm really hoping that I can reach out to a friend of mine and that she will be willing to help me do this sunset video shoot for my first cinematic video, which I'm super excited about. I'm hoping she'll say yes because she's a friend and she will hopefully be way more reliable than all of the models that I have been working with lately. And that's not a diss on anyone who's worked with me. It's just I have had quite the experience the last month and a half. I have been trying to get not one, not two, 3 projects off the ground since February 1st, and I have scheduled shoots, I have rescheduled shoots, I have had 3-hour no-shows, and what I mean by a 3-hour no-show is you didn't call, you didn't text. I called, I texted, I said, hey, the shoot was supposed to start at 2, and then nothing. So I tore down the set, I packed everything back up, and then 3 hours later you got back to me. And I'm not mad, and I'm not saying this to call anybody out, but I did want to be a little bit more transparent with our vlog because I feel like this is something that I need to do. You know, part of the 366-day challenge is giving you guys an opportunity to really see me and to be a little bit more open, a little bit more vulnerable, and a little bit more transparent with what is going on in my life. So I am frustrated, and I was trying to sugarcoat it last week and be like, we'll just persevere and everything's gonna be great. It will. And I'm fully 100% confident that I will find my way forward and find my way through it. It doesn't change the fact that I have tried to start 3 projects in the last month and a half and made 0 projects. 0. None. I have done more setting up and tearing down of photo shoots than I have actually taking pictures. But that's really kind of it. The last 3 weeks have been a lot of fun. They've been super stressful. I've been trying not to be hard on myself as, again, I really haven't accomplished nearly as much as I would have liked. But it's only week 3. We still have 49 more weeks to go. And, you know, on a side note, I have made some progress. You know, I signed up for a class in Paris. I took my first French lesson this morning. I mean, I took French in high school, but I haven't spoken it since, and I remembered some of it. I was proud, sort of. And I was also sad about how much I couldn't remember. But that's really it. That's kind of what's going on in the world. I don't know if you guys like this style of vlog. I did want to comment on the format of the vlog, and because I had a couple people like, why is it vertical? Well, it's vertical because when I originally envisioned doing a blog, I envisioned doing all of this on Instagram, and Instagram stories are vertical. So that's how I kind of thought this happening, and then I thought, oh, wouldn't it be fun to also do a newsletter so that you guys could have it in your inboxes every Friday as well. But yeah, so that's it. That's what's new with me, and I'm just chugging along, not making as much progress as I would like, not working as quickly as I would have hoped, but just trying to move forward with as much love and grace as I know even the best laid plans don't always go as intended. So we'll see. Wish me luck. I'm excited for the video project this week, and hopefully, fingers crossed, I can find a model and we can get it all taken care of, and you guys will see my first ever video creation. Well, not first ever, but first ever in like way too long. I wish I could show you my first. It was laughable. If I find it, I will share it with you guys, I promise. I don't know where it is, but if in some alternative universe I can track this down and show it to you in all of its high school glory with bad sepia tones and really weird costume styling, I will happily share that with you. But here's to a week of saying yes to being a cinematographer and challenging the belief that I just don't have it in me to make moving pictures. See you guys next week. Bye.